What's up, guys? Jacob Ober here, coming with my instant reactions from the Packers and Redskins game that just concluded moments ago. The Packers lose this one on the road, 31-17. I really don't know where to begin with this game because there had to be at least like 5 or 6 moments in this game where the Packers just completely shot themselves in the foot. They started it on the opening drive of the game. Kentrell Brice had an interception, but he doesn't get his head around quick enough. He gets undercut on the route, and it's a touchdown. And that's how the game started for the Packers, and that's really how it would go for the entire game. The Packers could not do anything right today. And if they did do things right, they would have won the game because the Redskins played pretty terribly. And a lot of people are praising the Redskins for beating the Packers right now, but really, they didn't play a very good game, especially in the second half. The Packers just made a million miscues on offense, on defense. In the first half, it was mainly the defense that was just letting guys wide open. The second half, the defense was much better, much improved. I like what I saw from them. There was a lot of disguised blitzes that I liked. Mike Pettin called a great second half, but the Packers' offense, for as great as Aaron Rodgers is, he can't make guys catch the football, and there were, I think, 3 or 4 big drops today, and 2 of them came at critical moments in the second half. The first one being a 4th and 2 on the Redskins side of the field. Rodgers threw it to Cobb. He got the first down, but replay showed that he couldn't hang on to the football. About the easiest catch Randall Cobb is ever going to get in his career, and he just completely dropped it. It was a sure first down. He just let it fall right out of his hands. And then the second drop, probably the biggest one, I'd say. The Packers had the ball. I think it was a third and 10. Rodgers got time. He danced around and he threw deep. Kendricks was wide open, sprinting down the right side of the field. Hits him right in the numbers. He just couldn't come up with it. It fell out of his hands. That was the moment where I said the Packers are going to lose. If the Packers had completed both of those passes, the Packers are probably winning the game, and they probably would have already won the game. Because there's no doubt in my mind that they were scoring points on both of those drives if those catches are made. So, I predicted the Packers would win this one 27-21 yesterday. It turns out the Packers did not win this game, although I did say it was going to be much more of a challenge than a lot of people were saying it would be. Obviously, the elements came into play today with the rain and everything, and probably had something to do with those drops and and that fumble by Cobb. But I was not expecting the Packers to lose this game. I thought it was going to be closer than people expected, but I certainly didn't expect them to lose this game. The good news is, perhaps the only good news of today is that the Packers' rival, the Minnesota Vikings, lost 27-6 at home versus one of the worst teams in the league, the Buffalo Bills. So, if the Bears lose to the Cardinals today, then the Packers and Vikings are still tied at first in the North. And the Packers have Buffalo coming up next week. So that'll be an interesting game to watch. I don't know how Buffalo is going to fare coming off of that game. But if the Packers play anything like they did today next week, they're probably going to lose next week too to Buffalo. So right about now would probably be a good time for Aaron Rodgers to say one of his RELAX things or run the table things. Because right now the Packers, they just looked like a mess today. I don't know if this is going to be a reoccurring theme this year or not. I don't know if this was mainly due to the elements today, but if it continues, the Packers are in very, very, very big trouble. Now, I do want to say something. I don't think this cost us the game per se, but there was a possession where Aaron Rodgers got kind of body slammed in a way, and the next there was no flag called on that body slam. The next possession for the Redskins, Clay Matthews lays out Alex Smith in what I thought was a clean hit, and instead they threw a flag, and it's roughing the passer on Clay Matthews. I don't think the Redskins scored on that drive, but still, the NFL right now is almost becoming unwatchable with the way that this is going. I'm going to get more into that in a different video I'm going to make either today or tomorrow, but this is starting to really get ridiculous, and the fact that it's happening to Clay Matthews as much as it is it almost makes it look like he's a scapegoat. They're just making an example out of him. They're going to throw the flag almost any time that he gets a sack now. That's what it really feels like at this point, and it's getting ridiculous. And by the way, penalties today for Green Bay were a killer. That was a huge part of this game. The Packers were flagged 11 times, I believe, for over 100 yards of penalties. So, I mean, like I said, it's the Packers shooting themselves in the foot today. It wasn't really much of what the Redskins did. I mean, they had the first half where they were lighting the Packers' defense up, but I'd say that was more miscues on Green Bay's part defensively than it was the Redskins' offense just drawing things up well. And then in the second half, the defense was able to shut down the Redskins' offense, but the offense just couldn't make the right plays at the right moments. So it was a tale of two halves, and both were bad for Green Bay on both sides of the football. So, I mean, it's got to improve. I don't think that this is going to be what we see every week from the Packers. I do think the Packers are still a good team. I think that they're going to rebound from this loss, but just it hurts to kick yourself like this in a game in which the Packers could have moved into first place after the Vikings got beat down by the Bills at home. This is just a game that you felt the Packers should have won. And really, if they make those two catches, they probably do win this football game. I'm not kidding. I do think that they would have scored on both of those drives. If they score touchdowns on both of those drives, then they're winning the game. They win the game. It's as simple as that. So they gotta clean up the miscues. And obviously the penalties really didn't help either, and the officiating was not very good today. Once again, it feels like I'm saying that almost every week now, but for the most part, it was Green Bay's fault that they lost this game, and they got to clean that up for next week. Buffalo had a great performance today against Minnesota. I don't know how well they're going to build off of that next week at Lambeau Field, but we'll have to see what happens. We'll let the week play out and see what happens. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. It's kind of a disappointing reactions today, but hopefully we have a better one next week. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Go Pack, go.